How's it going, backpackers? My name is Dave and this channel is called Off Grid, and on this channel I like to talk about all things backpacking, hiking, camping, and gear. If you're interested in those things too, please consider subscribing to the channel down below and also hitting that bell notification so that you can be aware every single time I post a new video. Today's video is all about the MVPs, or I guess I should call them MVGs, most valuable gear for the calendar year of 2021. This is a personalized and curated list of the gear that I have tried out so far throughout the year of 2021, and they are my personal faves. So let's just get into the list. I think I have a grand total of about 7 items that I'm going to talk about today, and a lot of them have to do, believe it or not, with my sleep system. So let's just start right there, because it is something that I have been trying to dial in and get just right for quite some time now, and it is something that has been very difficult to get to this point. So I'm really excited that I'm finally getting some decent night's sleep while out in the backcountry or just on my regular, car camping trips or things like that. So the first item that I'm going to talk about today is going to be my quilt. I got it right over here, and this is the 20 degree quilt by UGQ. I've done a first impression on that. I'll throw that up right over here, and you can take a look at all the different tech specs and all that kind of good stuff. But I really wanted to try out, as my first ever quilt, I wanted to try out something that was not a sleeping bag, because sleeping bags historically I've always gotten caught up in. I toss and turn a lot at night and try to get to a good spot, and sleeping bags just don't do it for me. So I usually end up getting all wrapped up in it and having a bad night's sleep because of it. Sometimes you'll wake up and the zipper will be on your face or underneath your body in a weird spot, and you'll wake up as a result of the sleeping bag that you're in. So switching over to a quilt, I knew, being more of a side and stomach sleeper, that I wanted to try out something that would work more so for that type of sleep. So I'm really excited, and I really just love finding a system that works better for me. The pad straps, getting them in just right and everything. This quilt is great, and I can't recommend it enough. I'm not sponsored in any way by any of these companies or products that I'm talking about today, just as a a disclaimer right there. The next item in my sleep kit, or part of my sleep kit, and the number 2 item on this list today, I got also down here as well, and that is the Nemo Tensor Insulated. This is a long and wide version. I can't tell you how many different pads that I have tried out and or own. I think I own at least 4 or 5. I'm going to be doing a review or a comparison on the different types of sleep pads that you can expect, but I'm so glad that I found this pad. This was one that I had seen a bunch of different people do reviews on before, and I was like, yeah, right, who cares? I don't think I necessarily have to spend the money and invest in it, and I have to tell you guys, invest the money in a great sleep pad and you will not regret it. Most of the reason why I had a bad night's sleep in the past has been because of the pad that I was sleeping on, and this one is ultra comfortable, and also a really high insulation value on this guy, really high R value. So it is definitely worth every penny to pick one of these up. I did a first look on this guy as well too. Post that up in the cards for you guys to look at. But that is going to be the second option for my sleep system. The third thing, and I see it right off camera over here, is going to be picking up the Thermarest small compressible pillow. This is the smallest one that they have. I think it's 12 by 16 inches, weighs 7.5 ounces, costs around $25 at the normal MSRP, and it's more like the pillow that you have at home. It has the recycled material in it. It really puffs up. This thing is super lofty, and really does the trick. I've tried, with the amount of sleeping pads that I've had over here, I probably have the same amount in pillows as well. I knew I wasn't a fan of inflatable pillows, but I tried out the Nemo pillow, didn't really like it. I've tried out a less lofty version of a pillow from, I think, Grand Teton or something like that, and that didn't really do it. You end up with the stiff neck in the morning, but this one really takes the cake. It is a great pillow, excellent night's sleep on this, and can't recommend this one highly enough either. Is that it for my sleep system here? I think it is, yeah. So those three things, really, like dialing those in, have really, oh man, has made such a difference in my sleep in the backcountry. I now do not toss and turn as much. I don't wake up as much throughout the night, and I don't wake up with a lot of pains throughout the night either, and that's key. Especially when you're doing a bunch of miles, you want to make sure that you're doing everything possible to get the best night's sleep when you're out there so that you can recuperate and hit the trail the next morning and just be ready to go. So those are the three items for my sleep system so far. Another item that I'm going to pull in here is something that you put all your sleep system in, and that is going to be your shelter. Now, this is going to be an MVG for me this year, and that is the Lanshan Pro 1 by 3F UL Gear. And I gotta say, I've only used this once, to be honest with you guys, but I was so impressed with it that I had to put it on this list. The ingenuity and the creativity and pretty much everything that you're looking for as a backpacker, this company thinks of. I think it's a Japanese company, and just all the different bells and whistles on this tent. I was really impressed from, you know, not only like, you know, hooking up, you know, a hook in your canopy at night for, you know, hanging up something, to you know, the overall interior space, to just like the general construction of this to reduce condensation and everything. This tent has been stellar, and doesn't come seam sealed. They have a seam seal service now that you can buy off of their main website. But Lanshan Pro 1, definitely a great tent, great budget tent too. If you're looking for a great one-person or two-person tent, they sell them in a two-person as well. So great option there as well. The next item that I'm going to talk about, and it's probably going to be on pretty much everybody else's list, and that is going to be the Giga Pump. I actually haven't heard of other people talk about this particular model. A lot of people talk about the Flex Tail pump and lantern, but this basically does the same thing. It's a lantern and a pump all in one, but this is gonna probably be on a lot of people's lists. It is definitely a great piece of gear because it can do two different things, and because it is USB-C rechargeable. This thing is great. Pumps up your pad in just a few minutes, and like I said, double duty as a night light at night, which you can hang up in your Lanshan Pro 1. So that is going to be another piece of gear that is going to make my top list for the year of 2021. The next one I have, the second to last one, so that I guess we're on number 5 already, is going to be, let me get it right over here, the For Wild Headlamp. I forget exactly which model this is, but I just recently picked this one up. I had an older version of this, and I got the newer updated version. It's got different modes. It's got different buttons on here where you can just turn it on and off. Goes up to 500 lumens, has a what they call a COB mode, which is more of a floodlight rather than a focus beam, but it has that as well. This thing has been amazing, and it is USB-C rechargeable as well. I got a 2-pack. It only cost me like 10 or 11 bucks for each one of them. Got the 2-pack for about 22 bucks. This thing is just stellar. It's one of the pieces of gear that, you know, when I was thinking about this list, I was like, you know, what gear did I really get excited about using when I was out in the backcountry and out in the field? And this was like one of the tops. I don't know why, but I really get excited when it gets dark and I gotta bust this thing out, because I know it is reliable. I know it's super bright, and it hasn't failed me. It really is a stellar piece of gear that I really don't hear anybody else talking about either. So the For Wild Headlamp is definitely one of my favorite pieces of gear for 2021. And then the last item that I got for you guys on this list, it should come as no surprise, because I really like to be comfortable when I'm out on my camping trips, whether it's car camping or backpacking or whatever. The last item I'm going to tell you guys about today is going to be the old reliable REI Flexlite Air Chair. This thing is just amazing. It only weighs a pound. If you bring the bag, it's 17 ounces total, 1 extra ounce for the bag. But I can't tell you how amazing it is after walking a bunch of miles to be able to set up camp and sit down and relax on something that isn't a rock or a log or the ground. It's also really good to like put my backpack on. When I get to camp, I'll set this up first and then put my backpack on it so that I'm not putting my backpack on the dirty ground either. It just gives you like an extra option to, you know, have something that gets you up off of the ground and keeps your stuff, you know, out of the dirt. So, you know, I really love this chair. I hope it holds together. I've only been using it for about a year or so, but I really hope that it holds together because I like taking a seat when I'm in the backcountry. So that's gonna do it. That's my rounded up list of my 2021 MVGs, or most valuable gear items. Let me know down below in the comments what your favorite pieces of gear have been for this year. It doesn't necessarily have to be a brand new item. It could be an old, trusty, dusty faithful, but let me know what your favorite pieces of gear are. I love talking about gear with anybody who comments on my videos or other people who end up going out and backpacking and camping. I just love talking about gear just in general. So thanks so much for watching this week, guys. I really appreciate you. And remember, if you're headed off grid, make sure you do research and you make it a safe one. I'll see you on the next one.